problem with Latinos has been to get ourselves to see each other not as competitors, but as brothers and sisters, really brothers and sisters, I mean, first of all, I don't think DACA students should be afraid. There's no way that this man is going to deport 800,000 or whatever the number is. I think they should just stand fast. I think there are laws in this country, and I think it's unjust to have someone not of their fruition to come to this country, to grow totally American, and then be deported to a country that's more foreign to them than anything else. I was reading this article about this Guatemalteca girl who excelled in Berkeley, did all kinds of things, and now all of a sudden she's under target. They want to deport her back. She knows nothing. She doesn't even speak the language. She has no connection. She's totally American. And I don't think the Supreme Court, regardless of how conservative it is, and even the Supreme Court did, I think maybe this is the match that will unite us. Maybe this is the spark that will say hasta el colmo, because so far we've been just cowards, bitches, fighting each other for nothing. And I mean, see, the problem is that when Trump attacks the Mexicans, the Puerto Ricans and the Cubans, the rest of our brothers and sisters, they go, hey, he ain't talking about me. But we should be just as indignant when they talk about it, because one day they're going to come after you, and we won't be there to defend you. It's Elie Wiesel when he said that during Nazi Germany, when they came for the unionists, he didn't get involved. He wasn't a unionist. So they came for the communists. He didn't give a shit because he wasn't a communist. By the time they came for him, there was nobody to stand up. So until we realize that this issue of the dreamers is an issue that there's Mexican dreamers, every Latin American country dreamers, with the exception of Puerto Rico because they're citizens. But I think even our Puerto Rican brothers can stand behind us. They could overlook that fact. And Cuban Americans, and these groups that have, we need to stand fast. We need to know that an attack on one of us is an attack on all of us, And until we get that, stop looking at things like what's in it for me immediately, we realize that the dangers and what's in it for us in the long run, then we're going to continue to be attacked individually, What is it saying? That bad things don't happen because bad men do them. It's the majority of the good men that don't say nothing.
Yeah,
I'm very ashamed that my Mexican-American brothers and sisters just sat back and allowed us to be bitch slapped, Mexicans, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, but perro que ladra no muerde. I would tell all the dreamers that don't lose no sleep. I would be really, really ashamed if they deport you and we don't lay down on the tarmac we should be prepared and let that, like the Chinese man when he stood in front of those tanks, that took balls. But let me tell you something, it really doesn't matter to me now. I'll call a spade, I'll call it what it is. Somebody has to do it. If I have to be a sacrificial lamb, I'm proud. At least I was able to have the balls to do that, because these executives have to be called on the mat. I've tried to say, well, it's ignorance, like I do in play. So, well, is that racism? But it has to be. What else? When you have Asian Americans, where 2% of the population have more television series on the air and network than us, we have a story to tell. We have a story to tell, and it seems like this whole world is easy to attack the brown man. We don't tend to look at the Arabs as our brothers, but believe it or not, we have more in common with them than anybody else. The Moors invaded Spain. That's where Spanish come from. And we sent a Scud missile to kill thousands, and it's blatant attack, aggression. And we're always seeing this side of the country. We're amazed. Why do they hate us? Dude, you're there with your family. Some missile out of nowhere comes and blows you up. You don't think whoever survives that bomb is not going to care about his own life, is going to attack? We have to retort to our common sense. We have a man that's leading us to the Third World War. This idiot in Korea is, he thinks he's God. Why? People say, well, why you fight? Why is it important that we're on television? Look, it's the biggest window in the world. It affects everybody's life, whether you want to admit it or not. Even people who say, I never watch television. It has an unbelievable influence to account us, It paints a certain stereotype. It makes us believe that all people from India are intelligent. So why are they driving cabs? That all the Asians can karate. Well, how come I can kick every Asian that I know? It makes us believe that they're bullshit, they're lies. The less we see of each other, it gives us a low self-esteem. Maybe we're not that smart, Maybe the color of your skin makes you dumber, Maybe I'm dumb, maybe you're dumb. And and if we act dumb, we will be dumb. And our children we will have left a legacy of cowardice and unactivism. Look, when I was 12, I marched with Chavez. I knew Chavez more than just casually. I was on the street, with the brown berets. I was there the day that they killed the newspaper guy in Los Angeles. What happened to us? What happened? How did we get so comfortable? Each and every one of us went in our individual lives, and we figured, the danger with the Latinos is that if you stay out of the sun, if you marry a white woman, by the next generation, your kids will have no semblance of Latino. Is that really our goal? Is that what we want? Because if that's what we want, then you know what? Then I disagree. That's not what I want. I've had people come up to me so proud. My granddaughter doesn't speak a lick of Spanish. She doesn't know anything about Spanish. And I said, you're proud of that shit? You should be shamed. Maybe my son doesn't speak Spanish, but he knows that what he is and where he comes from. I think they're afraid of us. One of the truth, they're afraid. They're overwhelmed. We're in their homes. We're raising their kids. We're mowing their lawn. We're cleaning their houses. Their kids are growing up knowing Spanish, We're everywhere. We're in front of them. The only thing they can deny us is that it's a big lie. We don't exist. We're not on television. We don't exist. They relegate us to Telemundo and to Univision. I've done that. There's nothing to be ashamed about, but that's not what we are. We function in American. We function in English. This is our country too. I think it's the syndrome that I call America loves the taco, but they don't like Paco. They like our culture. They like our music. They wish they could have it without us, but they can't because we created it. It's a very sad and frustrating thing that I've been going through for 40 years. And I'm one of the lucky ones. I am one of the guys that really doesn't have that much to bitch about compared to so many actors who are working you never heard of. At least I worked. I made money. Bought a house. Sometimes I feel guilty about that shit, Somebody, And we're all looking for a leader, but our leaders have all sold out. None of them speak to our problems. They all get wooed with the money and they move to the suburbs and they fucking forget what they got elected in the first place for, We need Zapata, We need a Jose Marti. We need someone that's bigger than just Mexican or Puerto Rican. Someone who has the heart to lead, and we would follow. Oroville. They're going up to space. Now, the real Oroville is full of Mexicans. It's up in Northern California. There's no Mexicans going in Oroville. It's in space. Why do you suppose they do that? Because we're not even on their mind. They put an African-American for an American. They're Chino or whatever. But see, the reason they put us on mind is because they don't see us as intellectual. It's subliminally told that we're not smart enough to go to space, We're not smart enough to run those machines. And the damage this does? There's some your son, my grandson's out there going, well, fuck it, maybe all I am is just a gang member, maybe I'm not good enough to be there. But our leaders, our elders, they don't think that's important. They think I'm making that shit up, but it isn't. It's very real. These kids watch these programs.
That's true.
And why do you think they took Joe Camel out of there? Because kids were looking at a cartoon smoking. I hope it's not too late. I hope my life has meaning. Makes a difference, I want to get them angry first, because I know in my heart, if I can get Latinos angry, if I can get them to look at each other as one entity, we would shake this country to its core. They wouldn't insult us anymore.